took 9 years before but I began to play the nightclubs in and around Southern California.
At 68 years old, country music legend Dwight Yoakam just dropped a bombshell, and Nashville is absolutely stunned. For years, fans have whispered and wondered about the man in the rhinestone suits with the unmistakable twang. Were those shocking rumors really true? Now, Dwight himself has broken his silence, confirming suspicions that will change everything. But before Dwight Yoakam became a superstar, he fought through endless rejections and smoky, rough bars. Back in the late 70s and early 80s, Yoakam started performing in small California clubs, places definitely not welcoming to his old-school country sound. While Nashville was busy chasing polished pop country stars, Dwight stuck to his gritty, honky-tonk roots. It was tough. Finding gigs was nearly impossible, but this stubborn authenticity made him stand out. Dwight's performances were wild, chaotic, and real. Every night, he faced drunken brawls and flying bottles. Still, Dwight treated every show like a chance to sharpen his skills. Without any mainstream support, he built his following the hard way, winning over crowds one fiery song at a time. But Nashville wasn't impressed. When Yoakam arrived there in 1976, he was quickly shut out. The music industry was obsessed with studio-made acts and catchy tunes, not rough, live performers like him. Dwight refused to change. Instead, he boldly decided to shake up country music from the outside in. This struggle laid the foundation for a career that would revolutionize country music forever. Then came Guitars, Cadillacs, Dwight's explosive 1986 debut album. This wasn't just another record. It was a shot of adrenaline straight into the heart of country music. While the genre drifted towards shiny pop sounds, Dwight brought it back to its raw, energetic roots. Produced by longtime partner Pete Anderson, the album fully embraced the twangy, rebellious Bakersfield sound. Yoakam's cover Johnny Horton's Honky Tonk Man quickly climbed the charts, but the real breakthrough was the title track, Guitars, Cadillacs. With its irresistible riffs and confident lyrics, this song became Yoakam's anthem, proving audiences craved authentic country music. The album didn't just do well, it exploded, going double platinum and redefining cool for the entire genre. Dwight didn't just perform country music, he embodied it. His genuine style and fearless attitude set him apart, making him both a throwback hero and a revolutionary figure. Suddenly, Dwight wasn't playing tiny dive bars anymore. He was selling out arenas nationwide. Most importantly, he proved in Nashville that audiences still love risk-takers and rebels. But Dwight's career didn't stop evolving there. His unexpected partnership with alternative rock star Beck took everyone by surprise. Beck, known for his bold creativity and blending of genres, brought an entirely new vibe to Yoakam's classic style. Their collaboration started with Yoakam's 2012 album, 3 Pairs, where Beck co-produced 2 groundbreaking tracks. This surprising union bridged generations and musical styles, showing that country music could change without losing its soul. Beck encouraged Dwight to experiment freely in the studio, resulting in a stunning mix of raw truth and innovative sound. A single night in the studio set off an earthquake. Dwight and Beck were hunched over monitors at Capitol Records when A Heart Like Mine crackled through the speakers. Dwight had tossed off a rough electric lead just to guide the band, then reached to wipe it clean. Beck waved his hands and yelled, "Leave it." That moment froze everyone in the room. Dwight blinked. He had spent years polishing every solo until it shone like chrome. Yet the ragged guitar throbbed with nerves and sweat. The same wild pulse he once felt playing 5 sets in dingy bars. Beck's insistence opened a door that Dwight had quietly locked. The door marked imperfect, but true. They played the track again, volume cranked high. Dwight heard string squeaks, tiny timing slips, and a burst of raw feeling that made his chest pound. Instead of scrapping the take, he doubled it, layering another line right on top. The finished song carried a dangerous edge that popped through headphones like live wire. That fearless spirit rolled through the rest of the sessions. Beck urged Dwight to chase first instincts, to grab weird chord voicings, to shout ad-libs before thinking about rhyme. The studio turned into a playground where pedal steel met broken toy keyboards and desert drums. Engineers kept blinking in surprise, and Dwight kept grinning. The payoff was massive. Indie magazines that never covered country splashed Dwight's photo across glossy pages. Alt-rock radio slipped Take Hold of My Hand between guitar anthems, and young fans streamed old Bakersfield cuts to see where the fire began. Concert crowds suddenly mixed bearded hipsters with longtime two-steppers, all stomping the same beat. Beck and Dwight proved that evolution does not mean deserting roots. It means watering them with new rain. Reviewers praise a record for sounding dusty and futuristic at the same time. Dwight realized that the country he loved could stretch far past any line drawn in Nashville office towers. More important, he rediscovered the thrill of risk. He stopped counting takes and started counting heartbeats. Songs came faster, freer, louder. Vulnerability, once buried under studio gloss, now rang clear as a church bell, and fans felt it. Dwight called the process a return of first light, the rush you feel the first morning you pick up a guitar. That surge of freedom spilled into every corner of his life. Stage shows grew looser, with sudden jams and playful covers that changed each night. Dwight would rip into a punk-tempo version of Little Sister, then slide straight into a dusty waltz, daring the crowd to keep up. People went wild. While the music jolted forward, Dwight's acting dream caught fresh wind. Long before record deals, he had walked onto high school stages, clutching borrowed scripts and feeling an electric hush when the curtain lifted. That hush never left his bones. By the mid-90s, Hollywood knocked. Dwight read for Sling Blade and landed Doyle Hargraves, a role darker than a storm cellar at midnight. To prepare, he stayed alone in a small Arkansas apartment, practicing explosive rants until the walls rattled. When cameras rolled, his growling menace made even-seasoned crew members uneasy. Audiences could not believe the soft drawl from guitars Cadillacs was the same voice spitting venom on screen. Reviewers applauded his fearless dive into cruelty, and award buzz hummed around his name. Dwight discovered that acting hit the same nerve as singing, telling hard truth in plain words. Success snowballed. Directors phoned his agent daily. In Panic Room, he stalked Jodie Foster through shadowed hallways, his calm menace making pulses race. In The Newton Boys, he flashed outlaw charm alongside Matthew McConaughey. In the roller coaster film Cranked, he delivered crooked laughs that stole scenes. Television welcomed him too. Under the Dome cast him as a tricky barber hiding grim secrets, while Wilford let him play a twisted dad in a dog suit fever dream. Each part, no matter how strange, shared one rule: find the human scar and show it. Viewers loved it. Acting fed back into his songwriting like fresh oxygen. Dwight studied how scripts build tension, then used that pacing to sharpen verses. He said in interviews that music and film share a beat, a hidden drum that guides emotion. When both crafts lock on that beat, audiences lean forward, without knowing why. Yet as Dwight's star blazed brighter, his feud with Nashville flared again. In the 80s, the city chased urban cowboy glitter, layering soft strings and pop choirs over steel. Dwight rode in with ripping Telecasters and lyrics that bit. Executives muttered that he was too rough, too loud, too something. He answered by packing rock dives in Los Angeles, proving listeners decide what country is, not boardrooms. His wild outfits, skin-tight denim, rhinestone jackets, broad brim hat tipped low, sent a second message: I will not fit your mold. Fans loved the rebel image and copied its shows, turning every venue into a sparkling sea of confidence. When guitars, Cadillacs, etc. broke through the charts, the same gatekeepers who doubted him scrambled to call. Dwight shrugged and kept marching. His defiance cracked open room for future outsiders like Chris Stapleton and Sturgill Simpson, who also put grit before gloss. Industry watchers now say Dwight's battle shifted the genre's map. By standing firm, he expanded what programmers would spin and what labels would sign. Nashville leaned more traditional again, yet also learned to value raw mavericks who brought fresh crowds. Dwight's early resistance planted that seed. Not every partnership survived a ride, though. Dwight and guitar wizard Pete Anderson had built a near mythical run of records, their chemistry tighter than barbed wire on a fence. But business stress mounted. In 2004, Anderson filed suit claiming Axe concerts drained his savings. Court papers spoke of late-night phone calls, booking chaos, and control spats. The case never reached trial. Lawyers hammered out a private deal, and both men zipped lips. Still, the split was final, and fans felt the loss like a punch to the gut. Dwight stepped behind the console himself, steering albums with a fresh mindset learned from Beck's freewheeling sessions. The sound changed. Tempos swung wider. Some listeners missed Anderson's snap, while others thrilled at the new wind. Dwight saw it as another chapter in a book that still has many pages. Tour life echoed these changes. After the Beck project, Dwight retooled his stage set with gritty lights and vintage amps that glowed like campfires. He opened shows with roaring feedback, then dropped into old honky-tonk shuffles, keeping crowds guessing all night. Reviewers said each gig felt more like theater than a concert. He also returned to the Grand Ole Opry on his own terms. Striding backstage, he tipped his hat to veterans, yet wore the same rock boots that once raised eyebrows. When his first chord rang, the house roared. Proof the institution had moved closer to his camp. Award nights brought mixed feelings. Early on, the Country Music Association left his name off ballot after ballot, even when sales soared. Fans mailed protest letters and radio callers ranted live. Years later, a lifetime prize finally came his way. Dwight lifted the trophy and said, "Took you long enough." Film festivals claimed him too. At Sundance, critics packed the premiere of his indie drama, where he played a broken rancher hiding a secret. During the Q&A, Dwight revealed he studied ranch hands near Bakersfield eating beans by lantern light. The director praised his devotion. Between shoots, Dwight wrote a memoir stuffed with tales from bar fights to red carpet chaos. One chapter told a night he dodged a bottle, then shook the stunned thrower's hand. The first print run sold out fast. Meanwhile, Pete Anderson produced young roots bands that cited Dwight as a hero. Social media buzzed about a reunion tour. Both men stayed quiet, but insiders whisper calls happen each year. Hope lingers. Dwight carried lessons from the lawsuit into business. He built a tight team focused on clear deals and straight talk. Crew members say that before every tour, Dwight gathers everyone for coffee and says, "We ride together, we win together." Fans, both young and seasoned, keep discovering his catalog. Teenagers dig through streaming apps and stumble onto a crackling shuffle of little waves, then text their parents in shock that such fiery music came out decades ago. Vinyl collectors hunt original pressings, while new artists sample his licks on viral clips. Dwight watches this way with gratitude, often pausing mid-show to thank the crowd for giving an old road dog new tracks to run on. Charity work also fills his calendar. Dwight quietly supports rural arts programs, buying used instruments for small-town schools, and showing up unannounced to lead songwriting workshops. Teachers say those surprise visits light a spark that lasts long after the final bell. He believes every child deserves a chance to strum a chord that might change their life the way twang once changed his. Today's streaming playlist placed Dwight beside classic Merle Haggard cuts and new alt-country rebels. His voice still slices through speakers with that tight vibrato and sharp edge proving authenticity ages like hardwood, not plastic. One truth ties every chapter together. Dwight Yoakam never waits for permission. From that first scratch track kept alive by Beck to the day he faced a judge with Pete Anderson, he's followed gut feelings wherever they led. That drive turned a Bakersfield dreamer into an American icon whose story keeps growing with each leap. Then came the split, heard right across Music Row. The end of Dwight and Pete Anderson shook everyone who ever loved their razor-sharp Bakersfield sound. Their crash proved that art and money must dance in perfect balance or tumble fast. Their tracks still roar from car radios today, yet the two creators never reunited. Younger guitar slingers study those records and wonder how one duo forged such magic. The breakup remains a warning flare for every long road partnership. But the next fight was even bigger and more personal. In 2021, Dwight aimed his legal guns at Warner Music Group, the giant that held his early masters. He said the label ignored his right to reclaim his songs after 35 years, a right locked into United States copyright law. Dwight argued that Warner kept selling guitars, Cadillacs, etc., without permission and without sharing control. That album was a rocket that lifted his career, so losing power overcut deep. His lawyers claimed the label blocked his chance to guide how the music is streamed and sold, stealing both money and legacy. Labels everywhere watched nervously as the case moved forward. More veteran artists are using the same rule to win back their catalogs, and Dwight became a flag bearer for that cause. Warner fired back, saying his notices arrived too late and paperwork was wrong. The tension crackled like a live wire. Just when fans expected a courtroom showdown, the two sides reached a secret settlement in 2022. No details spilled, but insiders whisper that Dwight gained new leverage over how his early work is handled. The quiet deal sent a loud signal to other musicians. Fight hard, and you can rewrite history. While lawyers battled in skyscraper offices, Dwight remembered a different kind of risk. He once bet everything on a movie that almost broke him. South of Heaven, West of Hell hit theaters in 2000, and Dwight wore every hat on set, writing, directing, starring, and even scoring the soundtrack. The cast glittered with Vince Vaughn, Bridget Fonda, and Billy Bob Thornton. Expectations soared. Yet when the film rolled out, critics blasted it as confusing and wild. Audiences shrugged, and ticket sales dried up. Money vanished even faster. Investors bailed mid-production. So Dwight poured in his own cash, even sliding into debt to finish the dream. The strain rattled his band and business crew, sparking new riffs that later exploded into lawsuits. Still, the film stands as raw proof of his fearless spirit. Many fans now call it a flawed gem, not a total failure. Dwight rarely talks about those bruising months, but the scars remind him never to play safe. As the dust settled, Dwight doubled down on acting with roles that kept viewers glued to screens. In David Fincher's Panic Room, he became Raoul, a masked invader whose icy stare could freeze blood. His quiet menace shocked moviegoers who only knew the upbeat singer from country radio. The wild range of parts kept expanding. He rode with outlaws in the Newton Boys, raced through mayhem in Crank, and delivered haunting lines in indie dramas. Each time he dove deep, hunting the emotional truth that fuels his songs. Looking back, Dwight says music and movies share one heartbeat. Whether holding guitar or a prop gun, he chases the same pulse. Raw honesty that makes audiences gasp. Every success and setback, from court fights to box office bombs, feeds that fire. Today, his story reminds every artist that true vision comes with risk and sometimes debt. Yet the rewards, a catalog you own and a legacy you steer, spark brighter than any neon sign. Dwight Yoakam keeps charging forward, proof that rebels never ride in reverse. Ready for a surprise twist? Dwight Yoakam can spark laughter just as fiercely as he ignites drama. In Wedding Crashers, he pops up with a sly grin that steals the scene, proving he can flip from honky-tonk hero to sharp comic in Heartbeat. He dives even deeper into weird humor in Wilfred, playing the eccentric Dr. Cahill with wide-eyed delight. Viewers wonder what he would mutter next, and every line landed like a mischievous wink. Under the Dome showed another layer, letting Dwight settle into a tense weekly story while anchoring an ensemble with quiet power. Each episode he slipped into character like a well-worn jacket, adding grit that glued the cast together. Reporters often ask how he slides between these worlds, and Dwight answers with one word: truth. He says acting and music both start with open nerves and a clear heart. That honesty charges every role, whether he's raising a smile or sending chills down spines. He credits junior high theater days for giving him the courage to tackle tough parts. Those first stage lights taught him to trust instinct, the same instinct that guides a guitar solo screaming through an arena. Looking back, Dwight sees no dividing line between songs and scripts. They weave into one long story that he lives out on stage and on camera. Each medium feeds the other, sharpening his sense of timing and deepening his emotional reach. Stepping inside other people has stretched his own feelings, letting him pour richer nuance into every verse he sings. Fans feel that growth, sensing fresh vulnerability hiding inside familiar twang. Now at 68, he refuses to coast. He keeps cutting new tracks, hitting highways for sold-out nights, and teaming up with rising voices who crave his guidance. His mission stays clear: guard the raw soul of honky-tonk while daring fresh experiments. Country keeps blending with pop and hip-hop, yet Dwight stands as a bright torch of heritage. Young songwriters flock to his Sirius XM show Bakersfield Beat, eager to catch lessons sprinkled between vintage cuts he spins with pride. Film still calls his name. Dwight hints that directing may be next, armed with storyteller's eye and decades of on-set wisdom. Fans cheer the idea, knowing his gritty vision could craft unforgettable movies. Whatever lane he chooses, integrity drives the wheel. Innovation never crushes tradition in his world. It dances beside it. That bold stance cements his place as a true original whose shadow stretches across both Nashville and Hollywood. A new wave of listeners keeps stumbling onto his catalog through apps and collabs, then racing to social media to shout, "How did I miss this legend?" The cross-generational buzz proves that raw talent only grows stronger with time. So what lies ahead? Dwight sees a wide-open highway glittering under desert moonlight. He plans to ride it with purpose, voice ringing clear, heart pounding wild, and creative fire blazing brighter than ever.